Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by Benoit Saint-Denis, the God of War, who at UFC 299 returns to action facing Dustin Poirier in Miami, Florida. Benoit, great to sit down and chat. How are things for you today?
Hey, nice to meet you. Very happy to be here with you for this interview. I'm in training camp right now, and body is feeling better and better every day, and I'm preparing hard for Dustin Poirier for UFC 299.
I would love to talk with you about the fight, but very, very quickly, there was some controversy last week, a series of tweets from Dustin Poirier saying the fight was off, only to say a couple of hours later the fight was back on. Just your overall reaction to that and your emotions of what unfolded last week.
I let my manager work with this kind of stuff. I sent him a message just to let him know that I'm aware of the controversy, and he told me, no, don't worry, just about him and his contract and whatever he has to do with the UFC, and stay concentrate and work even harder to be prepared for this fight.
100%. You're ranked number 12 in the world. You face number three at the start of next month. This is obviously a big opportunity for you, a fight that you called for after your last win against Matt Frivola. Just your first reaction when the UFC or your manager came to you with the offer of Dustin Poirier in Miami.
To be honest, I was expecting a tough fight and a top contender, but yeah, I was fulfilled with joy with having Dustin Poirier across the octagon against me for my next fight. He's a tough guy. He has a big career, and it's an opportunity for me to go one more win and to go as near as I can to the belt as fast as I can. Uh, and it's one of the toughest division out there because with five finishes in a row, uh, you can only expect to be facing those kind of guy. But in the lightweight division, you are never sure of anything. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
I have to ask, brother, because your last fight ended via a head kick. Dustin Poirier's last fight ended via a head kick. The difference being is you were the victor in your fight. Dustin was obviously the loser against Justin Gaethje. I'm wondering how big of a weapon you think your head kick will potentially be in this fight.
Yeah, of course, it's a weapon to use because obviously it's not something he likes, but you know, in a fight of this caliber, it's a moment of not being concentrate on what you have to do, of getting a bit sloppy or something like that. I believe this is how he got knocked out by Justin Gaethje, who he has beaten before. So it will be a weapon, but I have a couple more in the box to get the,
100%.
the job done.
I checked the date you made your professional MMA debut in February 2019. 2 months later, in April 2019, Dustin Poirier won the interim title against Max Holloway. Dustin Poirier had had 30 fights by the time you made your professional debut. So it's very much a guy with a lot of experience, whereas a guy who's maybe earlier in his career and is obviously building that experience in yourself. I'm wondering, has Dustin's career been one that you followed during your time in MMA?
Uh, to be honest, I started MMA with passion, and I didn't follow anybody before going into the UFC and being sure I was in the lightweight roster. Then I started watching the whole division, and of course he is a guy I've been watching a couple of fights. I watched even the Khabib fight live, and a couple of fight I watched at brunch and at Sunday. So after the Saturday night fight, the hour differences with our country,
Mm.
and yeah, he's a tough guy. He's well rounded, and of course, I'm the new guy, the fresh guy, and he has all that experience with him. And I'm not coming from nowhere. In 2019, I had already 5 years experience as a professional operator for the Special Air Service. So I had also my life before being a fighter with a pair of gloves. So nothing to be impressed of, but just a big fight coming up.
100%. And as I mentioned earlier, you're ranked number 12 in the world. You're coming off that win against Matt Favola. This is obviously a chance for you to catapult right to the top end of the division and potentially be in the talks for a title fight next. Do you see this as a big opportunity? And if so, why do you feel like you've been given this shot against number 3 in the world?
Yeah, as always, what I'm saying to the media is,
Mm,
if I didn't win my fight before,
mm.
the way I have been winning it, I will not be there talking with you about this fight. So each fight is the most important of your career, and you have to treat each fight so. So yeah, it's a huge fight. It could bring me to the top of the rankings, but for me, it's not what's my first concern. My first concern is beating Dustin Poirier, who is a very well-rounded fighter, a good southpaw, and I can't wait to be across the octagon with him.
I can't wait to see it either, brother. A couple more questions from me. Thank you for your time. You talk a lot in other interviews about entertaining the people. Your nickname, the God of War, obviously implies that you're very entertaining your fans, is very at the front of your mind. Is it important for you to put on a show and put on exciting fights where you get these finishes? Is that something that is you kind of want to have that exciting fighting style?
My style comes from my state of mind, which is I don't want to be the underdog in any compartment of the fight. So I try to train as hard and with as much intelligence as I can, having a great schedule to get a better fighter in every art of the mixed martial art. So I want to submit Oliveira. I want to knock out Justin Gaethje, and I want to win a tactical fight against Makachev. I want to be in the best shape and in as dangerous as possible in every aspect of the fight, and to win those fights. And this is always the way it works for me. It's one against one, and let's see who is the running first.
I'm sure you're not, of course, looking past Dustin Poirier next month, but if we look a little bit ahead, I know you've mentioned the BMF title as something that would interest you. Obviously, you win this fight, you'd be right in the title conversation potentially against Islam Makhachev next. I'm wondering if the BMF title would be the one that would interest you first, or that you would like to stay on the title path and try to pursue Islam Makhachev in 2024.
You will have the answer after the fight with Dustin Poirier. First mission will be Dustin, and we will see what comes next.
I appreciate that, brother. Last question from me, and thank you for your time again. When you see this fight play out in your mind, and when you visualize stepping in the cage against Dustin Poirier, what do you envisage happening when you step in the Kaseya Center, UFC 299?
I'm a very tough fight with a lot of tools from each part, and I see it going my way. Of course, I'm training for that, and it will be a tough fight. I know that, and I hope he believes he will knock me out in the first, because if he thinks so, it's gonna be a very difficult night for him. So I prepare for a 5 rounder, and we will get there.
Well, brother, it's great to see you in this spot. I'm very, very glad to see your success in the UFC recently. It's great to see somebody from our part of the world doing so well on the world stage. Have a great rest of fight camp and look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Thank you very much. Cheers.